Hi, if you're seeing this, first and foremost, I want you to know that this video isn't for everybody. This video is for the people that have been going through hard times, have been discouraged, and, quite possibly don't have an answer or a solution. My name is Will, and, I've been blessed to have a relationship with God and been having a pull towards ministry for some years, and finally really coming to terms with it and surrendering to it. Probably wasn't my first choice of things to do, but I'll say this, that God did not call me to talk to people that grew up in churches. God called me to talk to the people that have not been introduced or come from a hard background, and this is just the start of it for me as far as ministry goes. But the first thing he told me to do was to tell people what he has done for me. And this has been a hard video for me to make because I'm going to talk about some deeply personal and hurtful things that I've been through in my past. So I've had just some resistance in my spirit and like my flesh on not wanting to do it, maybe out of concerns for what people would think. And, just generally because it's uncomfortable. But I know if he asks me to do this, that it's going to help somebody, and if a little bit of discomfort's what I have to experience to do that, so be it. So I guess this is my testimonial. And I've been struggling to figure out exactly where to start time-wise, but to tell you what God has done for me, I have to tell you things and situations that I've put myself into. And first and foremost, that started with pretty severe drug addiction. It started around 2000, I'd say 8, 9, shortly after I got back from a tour in Iraq. Started out with pain pills and slowly evolved into a very long-term heroin addiction, spread out on and off over about 7 years. And, a couple of years into it, it was on and off. It wasn't solid, but, I had tried everything that I could, and I could not break free of it no matter what I did. And I literally, out of desperation, last straw to pull for. I remember falling to my knees and asking God, and I just tell him I can't do this. I can't do this. I've tried everything, and I got tears coming down my eyes, like I am just broken at this point. And, it was basically, if you're there and you're listening, like I need help. I can't do this. And, I think it was about a week, maybe a week and a half later, I ended up getting arrested for a drug charge. And I ended up getting sentenced to prison. And at the time, that probably wasn't the answer that I was looking for. It wasn't a magic wand that just took everything away and made it perfect. But I tell you what, hindsight looking back now, even though it wasn't how I wanted it to happen, it was exactly how I needed it to happen. And let me tell you why. So it was probably my 8th or ninth day in prison, and I literally have nothing. And, we were let out of our cells to go see chaplains, and we had the option to take a Bible. And I literally had nothing. I mean, you just sit in a cell with the same person for 23 hours a day. You run out of things to talk about. And, just out of wanting something, anything, I grabbed one. And I'll never forget when I opened it for the first time And I'm going to read you the passage. And this is the very first thing I ever read in the Bible. And it said, "My son, do not despise the chastening of the Lord, nor detest his correction. For whom the Lord loves, he corrects, just as a father the son in whom he delights." And it just took my breath away. I'd never experienced anything like that. And at that moment, like, I knew that God had arranged that time and meeting place. And I was in the right state of mind. I was broken. I was ashamed of where I was. Family ties were broken. I was in a deep place of emotional suffering. And that's where I had to be, to see that, to understand that. And that was God's way of letting me know that, yes, I put you where you're at. But I didn't do it to punish you. I did it to correct you, to correct your behavior, your path, where you're going. And it was almost like a little love note telling me that everything's going to be okay. And that's where everything started. And I wish I could tell you that everything was smooth after that. But, just as we call God Father, that indicates, a child-parent relationship of need and provision. So is your relationship. And my relationship with God was very similar to like a baby learning how to walk. Like, I took some steps, I fell down. I got back up, I took some more steps, I fell down again. It was a rocky couple of years. But I can tell you, I've been clean from heroin for over 7 years now. I have wonderful children that are just such great characters and more than I ever deserve. And life's far from perfect or everything that I would choose. But my experience with this and just the grace and forgiveness that I've gotten and all the support from God and just this walk has opened my heart and really given me like the heart of a servant, where I want to help others. I see others suffering and pain and want to do things that, not just give them things that help them, but give them things and plant seeds that help them in the future, so that way they can be better human beings. And maybe they don't have to get into a prison cell before they meet God. So, but my message isn't for the people that were born and raised in church. And if you were and this helps you, that is wonderful. But I was the one. I was that one lost sheep that Jesus left the flock for to go chase down. And I feel like I am called to that, the other people that are the one that, that God is searching out for, trying to redeem, trying to bring back. And that redemption is possible. I don't care what you've done. I don't deserve anything that I have. But I tell you what, God redeemed me anyways. And I've spent as much time as I can remember trying to earn that. And I probably never can. I don't think it works that way. But it doesn't stop me from trying. And no matter what you've been through, no matter what your reputation is, no matter what people have said about you, whether it's true or not, it's all irrelevant. It doesn't change how God feels about you. And if he can do it for me, he can do it for you too. Thank you for listening. God bless.